Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the VGPS. I'll be coming at you with a gameplay review of Total War Warhammer. And that's right, guys, we are in the midst of battle. The orcs versus the dwarves. And this is a replay of one of my battles. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why you want to buy this game right here. This is the big battle. This is going to be my general right here. Yanni Redmayne versus Gringor Ironhide. There we go, and we actually can see the stats right there. Yanni Redmayne, and this is going to be a battle replay, so I'm not actually going to be controlling any of these guys right now, but I do recommend that if you are going to be playing in a battle, save your replays for any epic battles that might happen, and then you can just kind of look at it and leisurely just watch the battle. When you are going to be playing in the battle, you will see that you will have lots of units to control here. Now, if you are a Total War veteran, then there's nothing new for you. Now, you might be asking me, you know what, should I even purchase the game, buy it? Because, you know, will it be the same as like Total War Rome 2 or even Total War Shogun? Well, I have to say that there are going to be a lot of similarities, some of them that you may have not liked before. And there are going to be some other things, though, that is going to be different, such as going to be having this rallying here. You can actually click on your main hero and do lots of tricks in the midst of battle, also along with some magic. And, you know, this is going to be another nice thing, too, over here, is that you can see you have these Orc Raider chariots there with the boars leading the way. These are going to be the cavalry units, right? I mean, normally for Total War, they're just normal cavalry units. And over here, as you can see, these are going to be the Goblin Spider Riders here. So let's go ahead and pause it real quick. Take a look at these guys, huh? You don't see that in Total Rome every day, right? So that's what I'm talking about right here. Just going to be that fantasy aspect, and it's going to be pretty cool. Each one of the races does things a little bit more differently than one another, and I'll show you that in just a second. But as you can see, my dwarves are actually going to be winning this fight, and look at that, flamethrowers on the field, going to be harassing and taking over, and we're going to be winning this fight. So let's go ahead and jump out of this, yeah, shall we? Yeah. And we are going to be exiting this replay, and there's plenty of things to actually take a look here in this game. Not only can you play a campaign mode, but you can also just do a skirmish, a battle. If that's all you're really interested in, you just want to see all that stuff, then you can do that. You can take a look at the battles. You can do a quest battle or even a custom battle. So you can play with any of the races that's going to be available to you. And you can even add an AI player, so I can have some AI that's going to be backing me up, but I can actually change this to from Warriors of Chaos to, you know, the Bretonians or the Dwarves, like you had seen earlier, or even the Greenskins. And then after that, I could just kind of configure my army to what I want. And if I just left click it, it tells me exactly what I'm going to have for my guys if I'm going to take it in. So this costs 1,700. This is going to be my funds for my guys. And look, you can actually add, let's see here, let's add this guy here, the Orc Boys. They're going to be the sword infantry, and then after that I can actually upgrade them in rank. They're going to get those little marks there, and then after that they'll be highly ranked, unit rank 9, and then as you can see, loads better than what they were before. And then it kind of tells you here the leadership, speed, and melee attack. But we're not going to look into that right now. Let's take a look real quick at the campaign. That's going to be something that you're going to be looking into playing. We're going to just continue on my Dwarven campaign, and we're going to jump into my cloud save. Let's load that puppy up. I do play it on 2 separate computers. One high-end computer with the GTX 970 graphics card, and one, well, let's say not as 970 GTX. And so far, so good. They have both ran this game pretty well. And I have to say that I have had no real problems with this game. There are going to be some lagginess to this, but that's going to be expected because of all the little things that's going to be running around. So you can actually go and toggle to the strategic overmap view. Anything light blue is mine at the moment. And as you can see, my dwarves are going to be prospering in this huge nation. Now, there is going to be some map modes. It's not a full conquest or anything. You can do a short campaign victory or a long campaign victory. So right there, you can see this long campaign victory. I have all the check marks. So I basically got all of these places under my hold at the moment, and now I'm working on destroying the greenskins and then driving the chaos into the chaos waste, just limiting to them to there, and then making sure that Arcane the Everchosen is in a wounded state. Or I can do a short campaign victory, whereas I just need to hold just a few of these places, and I still need to destroy the Greenskins, and I still need to keep the Chaos in the Chaos Waste, and then ensuring that Arcane Everchosen is still in a wounded state. So, right there, this is going to be the nice thing, is that the maps here, you know, they are going to have lots of terrain that you need to move through and lots of passageways. The one thing that's a little bit annoying, and maybe annoying in some other games, I believe in Shogun they had these spies and things like that that's going to be in there. And same thing, they're going to have these kind of orc shamans running around the place. Just, you can't beat them down with a normal unit. You just have to assassinate them to get rid of them, and that's the only real way to do it. And this is a little bit annoying in that respect. We're going to end this turn right there, because we just want to get to the next turn, and then you'll see what I'm talking about, the overview for this map. And you can make it to where it's going to have a normal or a fast AI faction move display. You can actually make it to where it's limited or even off, so I don't have to see all this. But I do recommend keeping it on the limit, and then make it to where you see the normal. Right here, this is going to be far away from me, so it has nothing here. Now, I will say, for the AI diplomacy, it's a little bit funky, because he's saying, look, join wars with me against these border princes. Now, this is my kingdom right here, and this is where he's attacking from. Now, if I do join this war, then he'll give me a payment of 2,500 gold, which is great. But I noticed that in a few more turns, then maybe the border princes might say, hey, look, let's do a peace treaty. I'll give you this amount of gold. So then I take that. Well, and then another few more turns, the dwarves might say, hey, why don't you come join with me? And so, what, there's no truces or anything? Didn't they learn something from maybe watching Paradox? Look, there's truces so that I can't just jump in and out of wars and get bribed like crazy. Well, right here, I'm just going to take the bribe and say, okay, I'll just declare war. I don't mind. And they're a lot weaker than I am, so they're not going to come press their attack against me. And not a big deal. So, I just got 2,500 for... And I'm not even going to be helping them out on the attack at all. That's the kind of difference right there. So, now I'm just going to watch what they're doing here. And I'm in lots of wars, actually. And as you see here, kind of going slow. And you do get a couple of choices here. So, right here, if you hover over it, the nice thing is to tell you exactly what it'll give you. Income from iron mines plus 10%, or give it to the opposing clans. And I can do that, but diplomatic relations will go up by 10s, but I won't get my extra money. Now, money is pretty important in this game, because you can only field so many armies in this game. Now, at first, you can only really field a full 20. As you can see here, the max is out by 20 with the unit count. And at first, you can only have one really nice full one. And then later on, you can get a second full unit. And then after that, right now, I have 3 pretty much full units at my disposal. And my predicted income is at 3,900. And so that's actually pretty darn good. But there was a point where I made up the second army and I barely had any income. And it's a little bit annoying, because look at this big swath of land that I actually have to hold here. And that's a good bit. Now here, it actually changed colors to orange, but that's because I have it selected. If I don't have it selected, then it turns to a different one. But here's the attitude to the faction. And this is positive to me, and these are all negative. But seriously, I have to hold all this with 3 armies, and unfortunately for you, the AI is pretty darn smart. So they'll know that, oh, you know what, the army's not there, I'm going to go attack this area right there. Or I'm going to just go and sneakily get to the backfield and take out, you know, the Black Iron Mine, where I do not have any of my guys. So if I attack with my unit here, look, Yanni Redmane, and this is the army that I was fighting before. But he might go attack here, and then I may lay siege to it, but another AI unit might go, okay, I'm going to sneak by and then hit up this area. And there's, you know, there's really nothing you can do. So the first thing you learn is just go and make gates everywhere so that they have to siege it, or they're going to have a really tough time against your siege units. So that's kind of a downfall. I mean, the nice thing is that you don't have to have one big stack of doom like they do in some of the older games or other games where you just roll out with just one big old stack and that's it. It forces you to have a few stacks, but at the same time, I have too few stacks. So let's go ahead, get over here and do this. Now, 90% of the time, you will probably just go and auto-resolve, because either you're going to be winning because this balance of power is going to be totally on your side and there's no real point in actually playing this game, or it's just so tedious. Now the AI, okay, you saw on the battlefield that they had those bow and arrow units. Well, the AI, they can micromanage a whole lot better than you, and so if you go after them with, say, a slow unit or equal speed to the archers or something like that, then what they'll do is they'll just kite you with their archers and just annoyingly keep running away, and then if you stop chasing them, they'll stop and they'll start shooting you with their arrows, and then if you keep chasing them, well, that's one unit of swordsmen that could just go somewhere else, and it's just, yeah, a little bit debilitatingly annoying. And the AI can do lots of little annoying things, like this orc shaman. He can come up and sabotage my guys and slow them down and get them trapped somewhere. A gleaming pendant. Now the really nice thing though is that, take a look at the heroes. And as you can see, there's Yanni Redmayne, and I can take a look at the details, and you can get interesting items for you guys. So I got sort of anti-heroes. I can take a look at my leader. No, that's not my leader right there. Dorgrim Grudgebearer, and he also has a dragon helm, but he's got the relic sword right there. And actually, I am going to be in a bit of quest here to open up the Axe of Grimnir there. And when you take a look at what I need to actually get that going here, and actually I think I need to get a couple of guys here. That's the other quest here, Axe of Grimnir. So I need to have 2 of the following units in there: Gyrocopter, Gyrobomber, or Gyrocopter in the Lord's army, and that's going to be Dorgrim Grudgebearer. So I need to have 2 units of this kind, and then I'll end up with the Axe of Grimnir to give to my man right there. So pretty nice stuff, little items to give your guys to help you out and in battle. And the nice thing too is that your heroes actually make a huge difference in battle. So when I was in battle, I was able to do a couple of extra skills there, like rally, get my troops bolstered up in different ways to actually help them win the battle. I mean, really, you're going to just be controlling the battle if it's maybe 50-50, or if you're just really going to be not favored to win the fight, because since it is the AI, you can't actually beat up the AI due to them not being as smart with the strategy as you are as a human player. Another little bit of a limiting thing is that, pretty much carried over from Rome too, is that these buildings right here, okay, so this is going to be my province right there, these 4 areas, and so right here, the Karak 8 Peaks, this is going to be the main area, but these other areas, which are considered minor settlements, well, they can never be more than a tier 3, so that means I can only have 4 spots here, actually 3 spots, the 4th spot just being the actual hold that you'll be upgrading. So you can only have 3 things, so you really have to pick and choose. Oh man, what do I want to build here? Do I want to build, you know, a gate to keep the guys out? Do I want to build a trading depot or a refectory, or should I get a barley field? There's just a lot of choices here, but there really is no real choice, because anyways, you know, you're not gonna put the armory in the minor settlement, because if you do that, then if you want to try to upgrade it, actually let me go back. If you want to try to upgrade the armory, and I can build the armory here, right, and I can get the units that require the armory in this area there, but the problem is here I cannot upgrade it because I need to be at tier 3 or better. Actually, yeah, a tier 3 or better, and I cannot get up there because this is a minor settlement. Actually, I can. Minor settlements can only construct buildings up to tier 3, and unfortunately this is tier 3 right there, even though it says 2 right there. This is actually the tiers right here, 1, 2, 3, and then I cannot get to the armory 2. So it's a little bit limiting in that respect, but I guess, you know, it's so that you could just locally draft the army, because if I try to draft the army here, I cannot, because I am, well, actually I'm a little bit, I don't know, this is full, this army is full. So I can't get that army there, and here if I try to recruit, I can only get the global units, and I can't get the local units right there. So it is a little bit more expensive to replenish your troops with the global units there. So let's go ahead, move my guy, look, and that was an auto resolve, and as you see here, the miners with the blasting charges, well, they got hit big time, because when you auto resolve it, somehow these mining blasting charges, well, you can place them outside the area which you can control, and they are going to get hit first, and this is kind of the reason why they're kind of low right now. Alright, so let's go ahead and do it. Alright, that's a nice thing too here is that when you end turn, the character with unassigned points, well, it won't let you go through if you have any provinces or any guys with unskilled points. So this is going to be the cool thing here is that they can actually level up, and each type of general is different. So this is my runesmith, and so these are all things he has access to. But if I change to my master engineer, as you can see, I get things like technical enhancements or a saboteur that I can go and into the other places and just sabotage some stuff, you know. Or I can go here to my lord and get, you know, Lord of Deeps, Axe Lord. Or I can go down here and get Stand Your Ground. These are going to be the augments that I was talking about that you can cast on your guys so that you can have a better chance of winning. Okay, and let's go back here. So skill points. Let's go back to the skill and let's go ahead and just get Grimnir's Heir. So melee defense +3 for Longbeards, Hammerers, Long Iron Breakers, and Slayers. And then I can get this an extra level. So let's go ahead and do that. And then now Gerzane Brynbright, the Runesmith for that area. So let's go ahead and get a augment constantly around self. And it'll give +4 to armor piercing damage. That's pretty good stuff right there. Let's do that. Let's do it. And here, actually, one more thing about the provinces there is that when you do have a swath of provinces all together, then you can actually make it to where you are having a commandment for them, and then you can choose one of 4 things. So right now it is at +2 to public order because I was having a little issue with these guys wanting to rebel, but I can get this to be Masters of Steel Stone, so I can get construction cost -10%, and then local recruitment capacity +1, or growth +15, or tax rate +5%. And again, the tax rate is really, really important here. And you know, there's more things that you can discover about this game, but you know, I don't want to get bogged down too much in the details. Definitely, if you can pick this game up, if you've never played Total War ever, and you really was looking to get this game, Total War Warhammer, just definitely get it, because loads of fun, loads of action. And if you are a veteran, or maybe you're kind of tired of the Total War series, and you might see that there's lots of similarities between some of the games, you might be, you know, I would still say get it, but just know that it is still Total War at the base of it, and maybe not as in-depth as some of the other games. So with that, hope you guys have enjoyed this review. Really not much to say except that, oh man, the battles are supremely great. The units, they're all nice and varied up. Each one of the races, totally different from one another. Let's go back to the main menu so you can see that there. And just really loads of fun so far. And let's go ahead and do the new campaign. There you go. Top units there. You can be the Empire, the Dwarves, as you can see. They got different types of playstyles, and this is an easy one. And they have no cavalry for the Dwarves. Empire, they got numerous enemies. Greenskins, they got limited technology tree, cannot trade. Vampire accounts, well, they got no missile units. And then the Warriors of Chaos, well, they are different because your economy is just heavily reliant on sacking, raiding, and battle loot. So with that, guys, hope you guys have enjoyed this. This is the VG Pierce. Hey, if you haven't already, please subscribe, like my videos, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time.